Can you hear? Can you hear me? Johnny, can you hear me? Tell me, can you hear me? What's up, YouTube? We're in the midst of possibly the greatest 48 hours of trading. And I hope you guys are too. And I hope for some reason you held some of these rare earths overnight. Ironically, I've shorted most of them twice today, but we're right back to the same exact market we've been in. So let me just say this with a little tongue in cheek. The market never goes down. Oh, but it seemed to have gone down on Friday. Right. Yeah. Wow. And that probably now has begun a brand new bull market. But again, if you have been part of what we've been doing here for the last 3 months, 6 months, year, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, or maybe some of you guys are still around since 07 when this whole party got started with me online. What's been the theme? I'm a shorter trapped in a bull market. Shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. Does that mean you can't short stocks? No, we shorted on Friday. It was awesome. But shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. So even though we got a stock like USAR, which has been ripping, and I've been told you guys to stop what you're doing and buy it if it broke 20 bucks, because stocks that break out in 2025 tend to double. And what's it done so far since the $20 break? Triple top $20 break, the stock has doubled. But on the way there, the last couple of days, even on Friday, even today, one of my first trades this morning, because I was up all night, was shorting it because I trade VWAP. So to the guy that was saying, Kenny, why the hell are you shorting the stock? You keep reminding us it's probably going to 50. I know it's going to 50, but that's irrelevant. I want to make money right this second. It's breaking VWAP. I could short at 39.78, risking 50 cents, and the stock pulls back 2 points. But then that's where knowing shorting is short-lived and you're going to die comes in, because you're just one faux show bro away from not just covering, because as a shorter, right, remember, every time you're shorting something, make sure you walk through the steps like you're at some sort of AA meeting, because if you don't, you're literally that's going to be the last day you trade, especially if you're trying shorts in a market that never goes down. For instance, imagine you are psychotic enough to think quantum was a short, right? And you went with RGTI, or worse, RGTX. Remember when this RGTX broke out? It was $50. Remember when it broke out? It was at 50 bucks. Imagine being short this thing. Sure, right. Yeah, you still have money left. You're done. That's a 350-point move, Holmes. I don't want to hear it. So anybody, when the mantra of the moronic short, right? And I know because I am one, we're legging in. We're starting our position here. No, you're not. You got no legs now. Oh, you're dipping a toe in, right? Oh, you're getting a feel for it? No, you're not. You're annihilated. Nobody who's not lying to you is short. Nobody's been able to stay short. Nobody. You can't. With proper stops and money management, you've been either squeezed out of it or you're broke, because there's nothing that has gone down and has stayed down. You'll get pullbacks, but every pullback is bought, and every pullback turns into a faux show bro. So the idea is that what I've been saying is not only shorting short-lived and you're going to die, how about don't short? Right? Forget about shorting. So let me be the professional shorter, right? Because I'm pretty quick. Like STI, right? Let's say you were thinking pump and dump, right? Of course. You know it's a pump and dump. Of course it is. You know it is. It's been a pump and dump for 30 years, right? So you want to short it? Okay, cool. Blows the top off, rolls over, breaks the VWAP. You got a chance at it, but you're going to be on the other side of the faux show bro VWAP break? No. So here's an idea. Don't short. Forget about it. It's not a viable way to make money. Well, what about Friday? Friday's the one-off. Who cares? If something works 10% of the time, wow. How about stick with what works 98% of the time? This trade, where you crush shorts because they don't know what they're doing. And everybody who thinks, oh, we can't keep going up. Why? Why? Did something change with RGTI? This stock was worthless at $4. It was worthless at 12. It was worthless when it broke 20. It's still worthless, but it's going up, and there's nothing you could do about it. Did it go to 50? It did. Why did we say it was going to go to 50? Because stocks that break out, that break 25 and get into the 30s, go to 50. Where is it now? 50. Where do you think it's going next? 80. It's going to go to 80 now, but it's still as worthless as it was when it was a 40-cent stock. That doesn't mean it's not going to go to 80. And you got to keep riding these things until they break. So every pullback is a buy. Don't take my word for it. There's the faux show bro. So it's not my word. You're not taking my word. Does anybody notice the market never goes down? What about Friday? What about it? Those are new generational lows, but none of that matters. Stick to what matters, my friends. Stick to what matters. And what matters, what are you doing now? And what do you think is going to happen in the next 4 or 5 hours? Because that's something you can actually control, right? Here's beef nagamaki. What is this? Who cares? Right? STI. Did you hear about it today? No, but now it's our favorite stock, right? You know about it. How about NAK? You hear about it? Now you know. Come on, Northern Dynasty Minerals? NAK? Dynasty Minerals. How does it not rip, right? What is it, Kenny? I don't know. I don't have to know. Faux show bro is what I know. VWAP retrace holds VWAP. That's what I know. So you give me any stock, I'll tell you where it's going to go based on these chart formations. Chart pattern recognition meets VWAP, market mechanics, and risk management, and that's how you become a good trader. It ain't about USA. Oh, hey, man, nice call, man. You're great. If you can't pick a stock that's going up in this market right now, you don't pat yourself on the back because you got a couple of winners in a bull market. Let me know where you sell them. Let me know when you get out and you book those profits. So full disclosure, I own nothing now. I got the same garbage I've had. It's back to the V-Wave, the S-Rad, and the Clove. That's my entire portfolio. What does that mean to anybody? Nothing. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what I own, right? And if you're in USAR, you care about one thing. What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it for the rest of the day? Well, I'll tell you something. I shorted this thing 3 times. I just shorted it again. I made some money. And I'm looking to short it again. It's just a trade, right? Still think it's going to 50. Not only do I think this stock's going to 50, but I think it's going to go to 80 and then 120 and then 1,000. What's that mean? Nothing. Who cares? I want to make money right this second. Knowing where I think this stock's going in the next 3, 6, or 9 months is irrelevant. So back to that conversation we had about 5 days ago. Kenny, why are you shorting the stock? You just told us it's going to 50 and here is at 27. I'm like, because it just broke VWAP. And I think it's going to pull back $1.80 right now. And I want my $1.80. And I got my $1.80. And I'll get my scalps. I'll want my scalps. And I will have my scalps. Literally. If you don't know that movie, by the way, we can't be friends. But that's what this is all about. I'm scalping, taking high probability trades, especially on shorts. You know they're not going to last, which is what makes me like it because I know I have to get out. You're still long USAR from 20. You're putting a $35 stop on. You give yourself the 6-point cushion and you hold. Well, really, the stop is 36.82 today because you don't really want to see stocks breaking prior day VWAP, but you still being in them. And that's why the power of multiple time frame VWAP can be used as swing trading, day trading, as well as investing. My name's Kenny Glick. Learn more about VWAP at hitthebid.com. And we're giving away a free $15 gift card right now if you can name who my first broker was and what stock I bought. But now we're going to take a break because I'm going to get some coffee. I'll get my stupid face up on the screen. And now that we're talking about Rocky Horror, I got to play my favorite song. And if you don't know Rocky, if you're not a fan of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, you take life too serious. That's what your problem is. Come on, damn it, Janet. I don't want to hear anything about the time warp. Do you know what the best song was? Well, they were all great songs. But my favorite was this one. I'll be right back.
In the velvet darkness of the blackest night, burning bright, there's a guiding star. No matter what or who you are, there's a in the darkness of everybody's life.
It's almost Christmas time. I mean, Halloween. So here, you want to see something that we were just doing? I wasn't in this trade, but the Q short, right? See how it developed as a short? You had a lower high, lower high, lower high, and then it broke VWAP. So some of our traders took advantage of this move right here. You got paid to the orange, and then you got paid down to the half. Here you're thinking, all right, we're probably going to go test the lows of the day, but because the market never goes down, it turns and you're forced to cover. And then if you're using proper stops, you're actually out of this trade already, right? So that's the most important part about trading VWAP and trading. If you're going to try to trade shorts in a bull market where we never go down. See, Friday all started with, hey, what's going on? Trump said something. Oh, who gives a shit? Because he says a lot of stuff. But for some reason, this time the market got triggered. And that word is exactly what happened. It got triggered. It was a catalyst, right? But for the last 4 months, nobody has given one shit about anything involving tariffs. You're telling me suddenly now they care? Why? Because it happened on a Friday. You had the anomaly print, and you started to break down. So stops were being triggered. People who had long trades on at prior day VWAPs were being triggered. And that was the premise of the entire trade. And then once you broke under the 607.50, which was a prior low, that triggered more selling. It wasn't about the tariffs. Nobody gives a shit about what this guy says, but they helped it along. And that's why our boy Don and his hedge fund buddies were warning us that there was an event coming. Was this the event? So there were signs out there that there was a lot of movement and positioning ahead of the sell-off. You want to read deep into it? It was the Trump administration or the Trump organization getting ahead of the move. But the only thing is, the only flaw in that thesis is that why this time did it move when it's the same bullshit as every other time he's mentioned tariffs since nobody cares about tariffs since May 12th? I think it was because they helped it along. So they pushed it through those levels to get the circuit breakers to start kicking in. And then we started cascading through multiple time frame VWAPs, new lows, we get more new lows. We started cascading, 15 days worth of VWAP. We broke through there. And that was when we really started getting jiggy. And then we broke a monthly, which was, we haven't seen a monthly VWAP break intraday since April. And that started an exodus out of the market. And we're right back to that spot where we broke down from, as if nothing happened, which nothing really did happen. So the takeaway now from that sell-off is those are now new generational lows. And if we ever do break down under Friday's lows, I will be at the bank borrowing money to put a short position on. And I'm not joking. If we break Friday's lows, and I'm talking about ever, just like that USAR trade, when I said, if this stock ever breaks 20, stop what you're doing and buy it. If we're ever breaking Friday's lows, stop what you're doing, dump your entire portfolio and short the Qs. It's that easy. And chances are that's not going to happen because the sell-off's already been contained. Everybody wants into this market. Quantum stocks are still breaking out. Space rockets, robots, nothing's changed. We're still in an industrial revolution that started on April 9th. And that's it. And you're not going to be able to fight the market because you're going to be broke. And that's the end of that statement. There's nothing really. You're going to be broke. So the next time the market sells off, it'll be just like Friday. Hey, what's going on? Oh, I don't know. UVXY is starting to spike while the market's selling off. All right, cool. Let's stay short something. All right, I'm going to cover some here. I'm going to cover some. Oh, my God, it's getting really aggressive right now on the short side. All right, I'm going to cover some here. I'm going to put a stop on. And it'll be the same exact day as every other day because we know what we're doing, right? By the way, this market is psychotically bullish today. Ladies and gentlemen, SRAD actually up still for the day, and we're past 11 o'clock. Somebody call the authorities. Stock hasn't had an update in 3 weeks. It's about fucking time, piece of shit. But more importantly, look at some of the names from today. STI, 30% move twice in one day, right? Look at our other stock that we traded earlier, NAM. Why'd we trade it? What do you think? Right? Look at the name of the company, NAMM. The word minerals is in it. Woo! Can't be stopped, right? STI. What was the other one? I didn't trade the other one. I don't have it on the screen. There was NAM, STI, and well, you guys all know about the rest of the ones, right? Oh, here comes STI. So STI, this is a split adjusted, I believe. Ridiculous name. I'm pretty sure there was a split in there somewhere. Unless this stock was legitimately $220. I don't think it was, but this just came out of the nastiest looking Andy Dufresne triple. It's almost like a quadruple Kardashian bottom break at $8. And you see where it's gone to? It's closed the gap, right? So now you're a seller here, but because this market's psychotic, you got to think we're tacking on at least another 3 from here. Because what's 185% in 2025? That's just where you get started. Stocks that tack on 200% tend to go up another, I know this sounds stupid, but 1,000%, right? So now what you got to do is you look at where the low print was and you multiply that by 10. That's where the stock's probably going, because every stock that has turned into one of these squeezes has gone at minimum 10x off its all-time lows. So you got to be thinking $29.40. And as dumb as that explanation sounds, That's what's been working. That's why when I said rigatoni to 50, it was because it was coming off a low print of 5 and change, and now it's got a rally 10x. Open was a 62-cent stock, so we started thinking, hey, this thing could go to 620, and it went to what, 12? So just 200 off the lows. Anyway, you get the idea. Market's never going down, and when it does, it's a buying opportunity. So it's the greatest environment to be a trader, swinging, owning, everything. Everything is working right now. And there's an STI right around the corner. Every day, there's another one. Right? Never heard of you until it was brought to my attention. Look what this thing's done so far. Never heard of the stock. Now it's everybody's favorite stock. Never heard of USAR until I did. Oh, now it's everybody's favorite stock, right? You guys know about TMQ now, right? It's going to be your favorite stock. When this thing breaks 8, where's it going to go? Did you just say 50? Exactly. Now you're in the 2025 mode. Every stock when it breaks out is going 10x minimum. Until it stops happening, I'll stop saying that. Every stock breaks out and goes 10x. So you got to think the stock's going to $80 when it breaks. Come on. The name of the stock is Trilogy Metals. It's got to go up at least 300%. The word trilogy's in it. And if you're in any of these names, I'm out of SRAD. I sold it last on Friday, and I don't own it anymore. And I'm not buying it back. I could trade it every day. Sold it, not in it. That's why it's up another 6 points since Friday, right? It's not about what I'm doing. It's not about what I own. And it's not actually even about what I think. It's what is happening. It's great when something qualifies and validates your idea. Yeah, man. Get me a plain bagel, egg and cheese. Thanks. And that's the story. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. This is the greatest trading market ever. It's great for everything. Swinging, investing, shorting if you're quick. You'll be dead. I'll be more careful next time. You'll be dead. So if you want to get in the way of some of these names, good luck. Like, I don't want to hear that anybody's shorting USAR. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because that means you shorted a breakout and the stock is now up over 100% in your face. There's no way you're short. And if you shorted it on Thursday, there's no way if you shorted on Friday, and if you shorted today, there's no way you're short. The shorts happened. It happened. I was there. There's no way you could stay short these names. But 3 days from now, they have blow-off tops and 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversals. By the way, GTI, another one. Here you go. Your new favorite stock, GTI, graphite. Any material stock you could think of right now. They are literally scraping the bottom of the barrel. When GTI is moving, I mean, this stock is dog shit. But coming off those lows, not Goodyear Tire, GTI, if you guys have been around, this one. When these stocks start coming back, we're already scraping the bottom of the barrel. So the fads, the way they work is just like you're seeing. First, you'll get the quality names like MP. Let's call MP the quality name. Right? You got some nuclears, obviously OKLO if you want to take this stock serious. Some say it's a complete scam. The scammier, the better. 2025, baby. It's better if the company doesn't even exist in 2025. Who cares? And then you got Carmel, right? Came out of the woodwork at $2. Now it's at 21. It's only 10. It's only up 1,000% in a few weeks, right? Because that's how the market works now. You break 2, you go to 20. Yeah, every stock up 10x until it stops happening. So now you find stocks like STI, and you got to think, all right, this could be just day one of what it's about to do. But more importantly, let's say you traded it this morning and then you just came back to it. You don't care what's happening tomorrow or next week. You're in from 1060. You've sold some at 1250. You've sold some at 15. And now you're saying, all right, maybe I hang on to this thing for, see if it gets to 18, because if 18 breaks, it's going to 20. And if it breaks 20, I just showed you where this thing could go, right? You break back above where you broke down from, you start looking for tops of that last range. That's $22.70. And you see that 55, what? You don't think it could be 55 bucks by the end of the day? Are you not watching? Are you not paying attention? Every stock, when they turn, seems to go up 10x, right? So if 55 is on the chart, you got to start factoring in the stock's going to 55. Because that's the market. You're not going to fight it. You don't have to even swing it, right? So if you don't want to hold them overnight and take the overnight risk, just buy them tomorrow on the dip, if there is one. And if they just break, if they keep breaking prior day highs, then you play the momentum. But look, these cues, you wouldn't think, right? They've been a short 3 times and all 3 shorts have worked, right? But you have to get out, right? They worked, got paid. Well, the first one was earlier this morning. I was up early, got paid, right? Then it was a long trade. Then we faded the open, right? Got in late, got paid. Shorting a short lived and you're going to die. Had to cover. Gets back to those highs, rolls over, try it again. Short one, worked. Got to get out. Lower high, rolls over. This one you got excited about because it was about to break the lows. You realize shorting is short lived and you're going to die. Turns around, you got to cover, and you get out of the rest. So when I say VWAP saved my life, this is what I'm talking about. You can go short. And by the way, USAR, once again, right? Here it is, developing as a short, and you're short. And now you're short, right? So where's my friend who said, hey, how come you keep shorting a stock that you think's going to 50? Because it keeps giving me opportunities to short it. Right? It's the same exact trade from before. We shorted 42, covered at 41, cover here at 40 and a half. You hope for more. You put your stop at 41.05 and wait to be stopped out because you're going to get stopped out. When that stops happening, then you'll stay short. Right? So for instance, if you are short now because it's set up, you cover some, you put a stop on. And just like Friday, one day you won't get stopped out. But normally you do. So the one day where you don't get stopped out, you stay short USAR now until it gets you out. You cover some, you put a stop on. You're anticipating it going down to 39 and change if it rolls. And then you realize it probably won't roll, put the stop on, and that's how you stay in the business. And then it's the same day every day. Every day is exactly the same. And I hate to break it to you. It's the same day over and over and over again. You want it to be the same day, right? Because the day is pretty good. You guys ever see the movie Groundhog Day, right? At first he's bewildered that he's living the same day. And then he realizes, hey, I should take advantage of this. And he starts milking it. And then eventually he goes insane because it's kind of crazy living the same day over and over and over and over again, which is where I'm at. I'm insane now because it really is the same day over and over again. But the reason I'm not in a straitjacket right now is that you guys are here and I get to talk to you guys every day to explain how it's the same day over and over again because you haven't experienced it. I'm experiencing the same day over and over again, like I'm trapped in a freaking maze with no way out. But you know what? This monotony and redundancy makes you money. And thank you. I do appreciate everybody showing up here every day. It keeps me sane. It really does, because I get to show you how this monotonous, redundant trade keeps working. So keep doing it and make money. And don't care about what other people think. This nuclear trade just got started about 3 months ago. You're about to go on a 7-year bull market run. Every one of these stocks is going 500x. You're not going to take my word for it. Look what's happening here. Look at what's happened to some of these stocks: SMR and OKLO, NUKZ, URA, the whole index, SMR, every one of these stocks. So listen, I'm excited that you guys bought USAR at 20 when I said it's probably going to 50. I'm happy for everybody, right? There's going to be another 50 stocks that break 20 that go to 100 in the next 3 months. We're going to nail them all. But more importantly is when we have days like Friday, we're going to be on the right side of that trade also. Right? Like this USAR short right now. If you're short, look what it just did. It just confirmed it's allowing you, if you will, to stay short right now. You could now dream that it actually could pull back another 50 cents because the market just told you. So now you could dream that it's going to break the lows of the day, get to the 40, or I'd really rather 39.87 is what I'm hoping. Because if it breaks 39.87, then we got a chance to break the lows of the day, and then there will be more selling. And that's how you trade. It's not about what you think, right? Thinking is you have your thought. Once you get your thought out of the way, then you're in the trade. Now it's what the trade's doing. It's not about what you think anymore. Now it's about what is happening, right? If you're short USIR right now, what's happening? It just tested VWAP from underneath and didn't break. So now you get a chance to stay short. And then you also remind yourself it's still not going to work out because shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. Speaking of shorting and short-lived and you're going to die, GT freaking I, people. This is one of the most, this stock is garbage. Garbage. But the more garbage, the better in 2025, right? The shittier the look of the stock, the better. This is what you got. This is an Andy Dufresne right here. Right? You come out of the Andy Dufresne, it's dumb, worthless stocks like this that rip or 500%. So now you keep an eye on this GTI for the next couple of days. It doesn't have a lot of volume, but when the volume comes in and they start ripping this thing, it'll be on everybody's radar. Everybody be talking, hey, what's this graph technology? Who cares? When it breaks 5, everyone's going to want to own it. And if it breaks 750, everyone else is going to own it. And then it goes to 10, and then the message boards see it, and then the chat room guy and the guy that has the scanner says that he caught it on his scanner, and we're already in it from $4, selling to another $14 in a couple of days. But more importantly, who's short USAR? Let's go. Right? Only trade we got going on right now. Why? Because it's cooperating. It won't for much longer. You know you're getting stopped out, right? Not delusional here. But right now, the stock gave you permission to hang in there for another couple of maybe 10 or 15 minutes. We'll see if you can get some more out of it. So a lot to unpack right there, right? Friday, new generational lows. Does that mean we can't break down? Absolutely not. I'll tell you one thing. Here's what I think. Let's go over what I think. I think we may never see those lows ever again in the history of the market. And I mean that. Every sell off, especially nice ones, has been met with an equal and greater move tenfold of what we sold off. So if you go back and you take a look, if you want to look at what it really looked like. So here's the intraday. Put it on like a 2-day on an hourly, and you'll see the whole world right there. That's your whole world going forward. You come out of that candle and break new highs, which is what's probably going to happen. We're going to be ripping for the rest of our lives, right to 700 to 1,000. But if by some chance we break Friday's close and then the aftermarket lows, we're in a bear market. It's as simple as that. That's how important Friday was. If we ever break Friday's aftermarket highs, stop what you're doing, dump your whole portfolio, and short everything in sight. But guess what? Chances are that's not going to happen. But if it does, don't forget this conversation. And that's trading. Is anybody here? Let's see. Let's take a poll in the room. I can't really do the poll, but does anybody think the market's going to test Friday's lows? Okay. Type 1 in the room if you think we'll test Friday's lows. Let me see how many people think we're going to test. And I'm talking about like this year. Do you think we'll test Friday's lows one time? One time, because again, the old school technical analysis people need every low to be tested to then continue the upward momentum. I see Fofo. Yeah. Oh, holy shit. Massive size on the here's an experiment. See that guy with 1 million shares to sell at 15? That's usually a buyer, but you don't want to buy it from him here because look at the spread, right? So try to get on the bid. See if anybody hits your bid by accident. But watch them gobble up this guy. That's usually a buyer. When they flash massive size on a stock that's already headed that direction, it's usually a buyer. But they play this game. They'll throw the offer out. They'll drop the bids, and they bring the bid back up. You see? Huh? You see what they did right there? Keep an eye on this stock now. And by the way, I think it held 1250 a couple of times. This is based. Oh, by the way, if you don't know anything about Fofo, this company doesn't actually exist. All right. So much going on. You just got to pick your spots. And starting tomorrow morning, our spots are going to be earnings reports. So it's irresponsible not to keep an eye on all my names because I'm in the sector that everybody wants to be in. And if you Google me and you'll read about me on Yahoo Finance, it was over 1.5 years ago where I started talking about space rockets, robots, quantum AI, chips, and I added nuclear about 3 months ago when my partner over there alerted me to this monstrous breakout potential, which all of them are breaking out now. Every one of the nuclear stocks is breaking out. And if you want to buy them all, URA. Want to buy, it has them all in there. The DNNs, the UUUs, all those material stocks. And of course, NVTS. So anyway, this company, now that I don't own it, full disclosure, I bought the stock because of the NVIDIA news about a year ago. And I made some money, and then I let it go, and then I wound up selling it at lows. And then I bought it back. It went up again, and I wound up selling it on the way down. Something about the stock doesn't allow me to make money on it. I don't know why. But now that I'm not in it again, and I'm not going to buy it back, keep an eye on the stock. Chances are it's going to finally get taken over because I don't own it anymore. Just to rub salt in the wound. That's kind of like my life. Anyway, I'll be right back. I'm going to go nuke my coffee. Right now, I'm got nothing really going on, and I'm happy about it. A couple other names from today. NAMM. That chart's too nasty not to want to watch this for a couple more days. STI, NAMM, same kind of thing. Remember, the uglier the chart, the better the stock in 2025. It's the theme of the year. The uglier, the most gross, and you don't want your company making money. You don't even want your company doing anything. You want it to have like one employee hemorrhaging cash, but as long as they have a good name and the symbol and people are interested, your stock's going 10x. So did you catch all that? Because that's a lot of information. But this is what I do every single day. We go over these key concepts. We keep focus on what stocks that we're looking to swing, what we're investing in. Anybody has any questions? I'm here 24 hours a day. I've been basically here since last night. I don't think I really slept. Traded the futures last night 4 times actually. Went 3 for 4. And by the way, I'm not joking around about NVTS. The stock owns me. Seriously. I've been in this thing about 20 different times. I've made money once. And I don't understand why I'm prohibited by law to make money in the stock. So now I've given up. And when I give up, that's your cue to load up. Right? Sid knows the game. And I promise not to buy it back. See, that's the kicker right there. Speaking of that, I'm meeting again. Got some more information about the token that we're going to put out. I heard the cryptocurrency or whatever they call them nowadays, tokens. I heard the whole market crashed on Friday. Some of these tokens went to zero, which is interesting because I think Friday. I don't know if these are true stories or not. I'm just reading on the internet. But some of these coins or tokens, they actually went to zero. Just proves that it's all fugazi, right? They could just press a button and your thing's at zero. At least with stocks that give you as much as these stocks, a lot of them are going to go inevitably to zero. It's very rare for something to go to absolute zero. But there is so much going on. It's impossible to be involved in all of it. So you just got to pick your spots. And if you're building a portfolio, your portfolio should be just basically nuclear and materials and rare earths right now. Because it's unbelievable, really. It really is unbelievable. But some of these stocks were penny stocks. They're trading at 50 and 60 bucks. I mean, we're talking about 10,000% returns, and they're still tacking on more. So if you want to ever try to make sense, rational sense of the market, why? Who cares? Some of these stocks that are ripping by right now were 20 cents, 50 cents, trading at 30, 40, $50. What can you do about it? Don't short them, right? you're going to short something, you better be shorting USAR when it gives you permission to short, right? Anybody short USAR? Not much going on, but if you short the stock, you're still waiting to get paid a little bit more. Maybe you do get. And listen, when the mass exodus happens, remember what you witnessed on Friday on tech is going to happen in these rare earth stocks. It's going to happen in quantum. You don't know when it's going to happen. It's impossible to time. But when you get here, it'll start like this. You'll put a short on because the market said, okay. And then one day the short will you'll follow through, and that'll be the day. Just like Friday. Friday started out with, hey, what's going on? Oh, okay. I guess we're going to short the Qs. Oh, look, it's going down. Let's cover some here. It was just like any other day. Really. You cover some, you put a stop on you, and you hope for more. Same exact trade. All right, you fucking maniacs. What's up? You guys short USAR? Well, if you're not covering now, I'm going to come for your souls. Do it. All right, there you go. One trade we got going on. Look at that. Professional trading right there. What are you doing down here? You're covering, right? Now you got a hard stop. So now that you actually covered some, what are you supposed to do here? You, guy that wants to work for me, what do you do here? Go ahead. You got to tell me now. What do you do? What are you doing here? No, you're not going long. You're covering some, right? You still got a target down, right? So now what do you do next? You're going to let it go back to VWAP? No. Now that you got a double, triple bottom, look at that area right there. Bottom meets top. That's your new stop. Lower your stop here. Next target's there. Lower your stop here. And assume you're going to get stopped out because shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. But at least it worked because you took a trade where you had probability in your favor. And don't ever be delusional about a short. You're going to inevitably lose. That's why you cover on the way down. That's why I'm not going to pretend about the Qs short. When the Qs got to 607.50 on Friday, I was thrilled. I shorted late. I shorted 609.78, basically between 87 and 78. By 607.50, I'm covering half my position. Now I feel dumb about it, but if that would have held, I would have felt like a genius. And then 603.03 was the next leg down. 603.03, we covered some. Once it broke 603.03, then we thought 597. 597, we got it. By 597.50, I'm done with the short. You have to reload later, which was a hard trade, but UVXY told us that we were right. But you know what I'm right about is this NVTS. And this is typical of my life, right? And this is what I call my wife trade, right? I could do 100 trades in a row for profits, but all I'm going to be talking about now for the next fucking 6 weeks is me selling this thing at 585 and then watching it go to 10 without me. because that pisses me off. But this is one of those trades where I could have bought it back Friday, didn't. I could have bought it back 3 different times today, didn't, because this is where there's a technical term for this. It's called stubborn prick syndrome. SPS. Stubborn prick syndrome. So when you sell a stock and it starts to go up without you, you say, "Oh, I'm not going to buy it back now. It's going up." But the stock's going up. Why aren't you buying it back? Because I have stubborn prick syndrome, SPS. I don't want to buy it back now. I just sold it. See, if you can get past that, you'll be a much better trader. Because do you know how many times I've come out of this office with this dumb look on my face? And my wife's like, "Oh, let me guess. The stock you're telling other people to buy is now going up and you don't own it anymore, right?" "Yeah, how can you tell?" "Because of that dumb face you got on right there. Why don't you go back in the office and buy it back right now?" "Well, I don't want to buy it back right now. I just sold it." "But don't you know it's going to keep going back up? Do you still think it's going up?" "Yeah." "Well, then buy it back." "Well, I don't want to buy it back. I just sold it." "Well, then don't look at me with that dumb look on your face." And that's the stock. It really just comes down to that conversation that you need to have with yourself. Do you still think it's going higher? Yes. Then buy it back. That's it. Well, what if it goes down? Sell it. But in this market, when you sell something and it keeps going up, buy it back. Because we're usually in the best idea. You go and look for another idea, the idea that you just had is probably the best idea. And that's usually the case. And the whole premise for me owning that stock is that NVIDIA was really, really passionate about them. And I was like, man, if they like this company that much, I'm buying it. And I inevitably said, you know what? Man, it sounds like they're going to take this company over soon. Probably. And of course, not with me still in it, because that would mean I did something smart. And swing trading and long-term investing makes me feel stupid. Because I don't know, I'm just not good at it. I mean, right now I'm good at it. Here, watch. I'll give you. Let me just conjure up the next symbol. KLV. Is that a stock? KLV? I don't know. Let's buy it. It'll probably be up tenfold. KLV. Oh, it's not even a stock. I don't know. Maybe we'll invent it. Because that's how easy it is to find a trade right now. You know that 90% of stocks are ripping higher. You guys see the market, right? 90% of stocks are ripping higher almost every day. You can't find a winner. So that's why it's like, I make fun of the industry a lot, especially scanning companies. You can't find a good idea without a scanner right now? What dimension are you living in? You need a trans-dimensional scanner built by NASA scientists to help you find an idea? You know that scanner doesn't exist, right? Somebody was selling that, but there is no such thing. There's no such thing as a trans-dimensional scanner built by NASA scientists that find the best ideas for the day. It doesn't exist. Trust me. Somebody was trying to sell you that idea. Doesn't exist. And by the way, what does NASA scientists know about technical analysis on the stock market? Zero. They know about rockets, right? And building rockets, not rocket stocks. Now, I think we're just going to consolidate for the rest of the day and inevitably break out tomorrow. But there's a few takeaways, right, from today, right? Friday, right? Friday was now generational lows. But we thought that. at 607.50 and 603.03. So generational lows, when they break, that triggers real sellers. So the levels that meant something on Friday still mean something today because we're still below the breakdown of 603.03 on the Qs. And that's the only level we haven't gotten back above, right? So now the two most important, and again, if you trade the Qs as much as I do, today's lows, Friday's official close, and then Friday's aftermarket lows. So there's the official close and the aftermarket lows. And those three prices are the most important prices going forward for all of eternity until they get violated. And I don't think they are. I think that was it. We just needed one, like I said, we need one more sell-off for the year, and we'll be good. That probably is what exactly just happened. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong about this USAR short. Huh? Cover, 43, 43, 43, 43, and you're out. You guys want to let this breathe a little bit? Sure. Now, my faithful assistant, right? What are you going to do now? Now that you covered some at 39.43, what are you supposed to do? Right? Now what do? Lower your stop to 39.99. And that's all you need to do now. So if you are trading options, you went with the 41s or the 40s on USAR, right? And say you bought the 40s, which were jacked in price. They're outrageous now. They went from being the cheapest options on the planet to the most expensive because now everybody's interested in trading stock. When we were trading options on USAR, they were dirt cheap because nobody knew about the stock. Now you can't get in without a 10% premium. The $40 puts cost you $4. These would have cost you 8 cents, relatively speaking, a couple of weeks ago. Because the stock, you don't know how options are priced. They're based on implied volatility. Now, the implied volatility went from a 2 to 100. So the price of the options are going to be multiplied basically 10x. When we were buying USAR options, nobody even knew the stock existed. We went out 3 months and was able to buy a 17.50 call for $1. Cost us 50 cents premium. Now it's 10x that. So not as great to trade options in USAR anymore because they're freaking jacked. But you could trade 300 share lots, 1,000 share lots of it, and make yourself some decent money right now. How you doing? And by the way, while this is going down, let's take a look at the only other stock I shorted today was the UUUU. And you know what? Let's do this one too. Short. Boom. Now we're in, right? Just got confirmation of a seller, confirmation of a seller, confirmation of selling. So now UUU keeps falling. USAR keeps falling. Let's see if UUU follows through. All we need is to break that 71, and then we're going to get back to the 43. And if we break the 43, the same exact thing as every other trade. You milk it until you can't. You got your targets, and you understand that if it works, you start taking profit, even at 23.43 if it falls to that. All right, so for shits and giggles, if anybody, oh, by the way, STI, you're about to get to the 18. Hold on a second. All right, so now my faithful assistant, I leave you in charge of my UUU short. Don't fuck it up. All right, 24.10 stop, 24.18 stop. We're looking for it to pull back 70 cents. Don't fuck it up. You got it? All right. If you're in the USAR short, all right, just covered a little bit more. Don't fuck it up, right? Don't ever get excited. But the reason I got to show you this SDI trade, right? I know it sounds ridiculous, right? But now, where's it going, right? The original target, 1802, right? It's right there in reach, right? Because stocks, when they start to break out, they don't stop, right? They go looking for their old friends, where they come from. I came from a land down under. I came from 18 bucks, 18 bucks, 1808. You want to go back to 1808, don't you? Of course you do. And what happens when it breaks 1808? Where did you just go to 1808? No, 1798. I'm sorry, we missed it by a couple of pennies. But look where you got to. You basically got to the 18. I was expecting 8 more cents, but you get the idea. If you're holding on for 8 more cents and you let it fall $1, that's just irresponsible. But look at that trade, right? So now any consolidation up here, consolidates between the 15 and the 18, the next thing blasts off through there, you're going higher. By the way, you see the Qs, right? I'll go down. Right. Now, today's lows are probably going to be inevitably generational lows. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping we get somewhere in the middle of today and Friday just to get something. I'd like to see a little shake and bake. But going back to this NVTS trade, my PayPal address is info@hitthebid.com. If you own the stock, I'm telling you, send me $500 right now, or I'm going to buy the stock back and fuck it all up for everybody. So, yeah, I'm bribing you. You want to see this stock go to 20 or 30? Pay me off right now. I'll buy the fucker back right now. I'll buy this fucker back right here at 10 bucks. It'll be $5 within 3 days. I will fuck you up. Info@hitthebid.com. Send me some money. I'll buy the stock back. I will kill you all. And by the way, for my next service, whenever that day is that I do give up on the SRAG trade, I will alert everybody. As soon as I give up on my last, I got close to 4,000 shares of this thing. Once I get out of that last 100 shares, when I finally give up on that last 100, I haven't sold any of it because I'm a loser. But there's going to be a point where I'm going to have to give up on the whole thing. You guys, you tell your whole family to get involved. You load up like you've never loaded up before. It's going to happen. They're going to bleed this thing. They're going to bleed me to death on this goddamn stock. I'm finally going to give up. It's like NVTS, and it's going to double. And you can do it all for the Nucky. You guys know about this one? I'm pretty sure this is not a nuclear stock, but who cares, right? Nucleus. You love it, right? You could do it for the nookie or you could do it for the other thing, right? You remember Nucleus, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Maybe you don't. I think you do. I think you do know about Nucleus, right? Oh, look at me. Whoa. Sorry. You get the idea, right? You just put a good name on a stock right now and it's going to rip. Now, if you're not finding the ironic nature of being, and again, this is to my friend with the conversation that you had in the last 4 or 5 days. Kenny, why do you keep shorting a stock that you say is going to 50? Because it's short right now. That's why. You want to make money or you want to guess, right? And look, I'm right. The stock broke 20 and went up 100%. The trade's over for me. It just did what I thought it was going to do. Going to 50, it's irrelevant now. What's relevant? I short stocks that break VWAP when I have limited risk and I can make some money. Right? That's it. So, Kenny, do you still think the stock's going to 50? Absolutely. Not only 50, I think the stock's going to 700. Means nothing. I'm making money right now short, right? And I'm going to stop out at 39.60 now because I know inevitably is going to go to 150, then 700. So as long as the shorts tell me I can stay short, I'm going to stay short, right? And if you don't have these conversations with each other, with yourself, then you're going to lose money. Walk yourself through your own trade. What do I think is going to happen? What am I doing about it now? What am I going to do with the rest? That's it. Like Nucky, right? You guys know about Nucky? We've been looking at the stock since it was 13 cents, right? And now look at it. Sorry, 331. I thought this was a penny stock. But look at this piece of shit, right? What is it? Who knows? I don't even know if it's nuclear, but it seems like it's nuclear. And it's consolidating at its 9-month VWAP, right? And if you look at it on a 5-year chart, oh, there it is. Yeah. I knew this was some sort of bizarro bullshit name. Look at that. Stock went from $1.30 to 70, right back to like $4. You don't think it could rip back to $30 any day now? Of course it can. So 4 days from now, when you see the stock ripping, you're like, oh, right, that one. Buy it. You're not, there is no lack of ideas. And if anybody's in the mothership, this is the MP. This is what got the whole game started. Rare earths. You miss the big one, you go after the lower tier one. You miss the lower tier one, you go after the lower ones. Inevitably, you're in the freaking ninth circle of hell, buying stocks that have nothing to do with nuclear except the name of the company. And who cares? Who cares? Who cares? As long as it's working, whatever the premise is. Yo. Who me? Did you leave and come back already? Oh, thanks. I'm gonna go get some breakfast. It's been a fantastic day, and I'm left out. Right, I'm done with the swing trades. I got nothing. Right, I got no quantums. No, I got nothing. It's not about me. You want to know where Rigatoni's going? Now that it broke 50, it's probably going to 80. Nothing's changed. Right, even though the stock was 38 cents just a short time ago, it's still going to 80. Everybody wants to own it. I don't know what to tell you. One day when it's up 7 or 8 points and it breaks VWAP and rolls over and goes negative, that'll probably be a trend changer. That could be today. or whenever that day happens, that'll be the day when you address it. But right now, 20 gets you 50, 50 gets you 80, 80 gets you 120, 120 gets you 250. You got to start thinking the stock's going to a minimum of $250, which would make it 17,000% return over the last 2 years. And what do? Nothing. They think they make quantum computing. What is quantum computing? Nobody even knows yet. It's just a name. None of these companies do anything, and it's fantastic. My name's Kenny Glick. Keep living the dream, my friends. None of these companies have any business going where they're going, but they're all going up simultaneously. Don't fight it. You're going to lose all your money. Embrace the horror. You're never going down. Every stock to 1,000, and then 10,000 after that. And look, your USAR just got stopped out anyway. So, like, did you guys think you were actually going to stay short this stock? You were one faux show bro away from getting covered. That's why you cover at the levels where something happened once before. And now that trade's over. And now you leave. You leave. It's good. 8 for 8, pretty good day. Sorry, 8 for 9. Lost on one USAR short to start the day. All right. So you figure by tomorrow we'll be at all-time highs across the board. There'll be a sector rotation, I'm sure, because a lot of these stocks are no joke. They're up 1,000% across the board. There's not many that's not up at least 500%. Some of these stocks are up, no joke, 10,000% in less than a year. 100x some of these stocks are up without pulling back. Rational thought, when they do pull back, you're going to get a nice haircut. But you let me know when that day happens, because there's no way to predict it. And you just have to react to it when it happens. Like USAR short. Breaks VWAP, test it from underneath. I'm in. I can short it. Knowing where it's going to go and knowing shorting is short-lived, I'm going to die. You cover on the way down, inevitably get stopped out. And it's going to be the same thing with the Qs, right? We're still in this choppy range from the morning, right? Nothing's changed. But what's going to change is when we break out, we're not going to come back. And then we'll be off to the races to 700, 1,000, 2,000. Inevitably, if you don't think we're going to be 10x on the NASDAQ in the next 8 years, why? So my target on the Qs, 6,000, 30, 35. I'll still be here. I might be off a little bit, but target 6,000. Why not? Tesla's going to 3,000, and you know all the rest of those stocks. All right. Here's another word of advice. Don't bother shorting. I'm glad it worked. We got paid on the Q, USAR, but if you're really thinking about becoming a trader, if you've been struggling, just wait for the counter trend bullish move known as the faux show bro, and you'll be getting paid much better than trying to guess where these stocks are going to stop going up. Just crush the people that think shorting is still a viable way to trade. It's not. It's good for 7 minutes, and then you join the winning team and you make the real money. Look at this move. This all started as a short, and then a faux show bro. And tomorrow, again, let's assume $18 is the high for the rest of the day. When it breaks 18, later today or tomorrow, it's probably going to tack on another 30 to 50 points, not just $1, right? This thing breaks 18, it's probably going to $30, right? And then if it gets to 30, you're going to be looking at these candles, and then you're going to be like, I can't believe this thing got to $55, because that's the stupidest market that we're in. We're in the dumbest market ever, but it's fantastic. So just keep embracing the horror. Every stock is about to go 10x to start, 100x minimum. Nothing's changed. If anything, the market just got more bullish because every time we sell off, it begins a new bull market. I'll see you next time.